What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you guys my predictions and expectations regarding Boruto Manga Chapter 79. So Chapter 78 was pretty crazy to say the least. I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree with that. I personally really enjoyed that chapter. Was one of my favorites in a while. And I'm looking really forward to seeing Chapter 79 and what it has in store for us. Because I think going now to the end of this arc, which I am hoping, fingers crossed, leads to the time skip after this arc. I am hoping that this arc just stays full throttle from here on out, which I really got a good feeling that it is going to stay pretty crazy and we're going to get some pretty exciting moments for us to read. So yeah, let's talk about the predictions I have and expectations. So stating the obvious, I do think that the hunt for Kawaki is going to really intensify in this chapter, and that's going to lead to some confrontations, of course, which I am going to discuss in a second. But it's going to be a manhunt this chapter for sure. Kawaki is for sure going to slip up somewhere. I'm expecting his chakra is going to be low, and he's going to get caught lacking for, using this ability of his too many times. And this lack of chakra of his might actually also make him more vulnerable to some of these others that are around. And aside from the hunt for Kawaki, I'm expecting there to be a chat in this chapter that involves either Boruto and Sasuke or Boruto and Shikamaru. And I'm pretty much saying that just because last chapter ended with that little moment involving Momoshiki that allowed Kawaki to escape, and I feel like that's got to be addressed. I'm also sure that we are gonna get to see maybe a little more discussed about Boruto's scar as well. That is also something that may be talked about in a little more detail. It'd be kind of funny, I was just thinking, I don't think Sasuke would ever do this, but it'd be funny if Sasuke kind of cracked a little joke about losing an eye, because, Momoshiki took his, and then now Kawaki got him. But I don't think they'll do that, but it would be funny. I'm also expecting a Boruto and Momoshiki conversation. I feel like this has become a staple now. We get it either every chapter in some slight sense, or we get it every other chapter in recent events. And whether it's a conversation or maybe one of those scenes, kind of like when we have that flash forward that Boruto sees, for example, involving Kawaki and the others, there is always something interesting going on with Momoshiki, without a doubt. And I do feel like they could throw something in here again. But aside from the Boruto stuff, I think another thing that's important to mention here is that we kind of need to see some more of Damon and Eda again this chapter. And I'm only saying that because I got a feeling that Kawaki might get backed down into a corner at some point. And because Eda has the crush on Kawaki, she might side with Kawaki. And if she sides with Kawaki, that means Damon is also going to side with Kawaki. And that's where the disaster could really begin for the village. And not to mention, aside from that, you always have Code lurking around here too now, with his army that he's building up. So a lot could go wrong. A lot really could go wrong. But I really think that Eda might end up siding on that way if, it comes to the point where they're trying to kill Kawaki. And then if Damon comes in, that's just OP. So who knows what's going to happen going with that. But maybe Eda will be able to calm the situation down in some sort of way, but I wouldn't bank on that. But there's some possibilities, of course, for sure, that, of course, Eda and Damon just got in the village, and wow, look, maybe Kawaki makes an escape and they escape with them because she wants to stay with Kawaki or something. And one thing I think I'm very confident about is going to happen in Chapter 79. And if it does not, I think it has to happen in Chapter 80. I think that flash forward scene that Boruto saw a few chapters ago is going to indeed happen this chapter. And if we do get Mitsuki versus Kawaki, that fight is going to be fire. I think that is one that's just a big, huge fight that we as fans I think would be really hyped for. Some people might think that Mitsuki might not stand a chance, but Mitsuki's Sage Mode is pretty strong in general, especially if you saw it at the beginning of the series. But now with him, getting stronger and stronger, in general, just in his regular base form, and then on top of that, him using that Sage Mode now, and the fact that Kawaki might have lower chakra reserves, it may really be a pretty good close fight. And I unfortunately don't think that Mitsuki will be able to beat him, but it would be a cool surprise if he does, depending on how they handle it. But I do think that seeing Mitsuki angry and going in at him in this fight would be pretty amazing. And who knows? I don't think they'll do it, but they might even kill off somebody from the new gen right away, like Mitsuki. But I really hope that if they have a death for Mitsuki planned, for example, I hope they save it for post-time skip. Because Momoshiki is kind of lurking around a lot with these lines every so often, talking about these blue eyes are going to take everything from you. So, hopefully Mitsuki's not one of the people he's hinting towards to come next, But that fight, nonetheless, again, should be fire. And it is important to also note that Sarada and the new Inoshikacho, Shikadai, Chocho, Inojin, are also going to be in that scene. But I was wondering, especially with what we just saw recently involving Sarada and Boruto losing his eye, how much help are they going to be, right? Mitsuki with his Sage Mode actually makes more sense. Shikadai maybe can use some sort of tactic to come in and help. And that's where I think the new Inoshikacho can be useful. Sarada definitely needs to come in with her Sharingan this time. That was something that she really fucked up on doing last chapter. And I know Kawaki caught her by surprise, but she really should have activated that, because I don't know if it would have really made a difference like that necessarily, especially with Kawaki trying. But at least maybe she could have done a little something more, that maybe Boruto would have taken an arm injury or something, for all we know. Maybe she would have moved a little bit. Who knows? But she definitely needs to go all out if she wants to be even relevant in the fight here. And I'm sure she's also going to be involved in some sort of strategy that Shikadai might come up with, if anything. And again, I gotta note that if they find Kawaki and he can't escape, it's likely because the chakra reserves are low. And if that's the case, they may have a chance in the fight against him. So that's always possible. And pretty much the last plot point I really want to talk about is if all hell breaks loose and Code actually decides to attack this chapter. If this happens, I feel like that's how they need to close the chapter. We need some crazy ass cliffhanger with Code pulling up. And what I think would be crazy is if Code pulls up and maybe we have a scene where Code pops up behind somebody that you wouldn't expect, and he surprises them with his entrance, and they're just shocked or they're just looking, scared to death in that one panel, and that's how the chapter closes. That's how I would close off the chapter, just to get everybody hyped for the next month after. So I really hope they go about it that route if they want to bring Code, but if not, I'm sure there's a whole lot of other things they can do. Regarding also when it comes to Sasuke, Shikamaru, Boruto, and even Konohamaru, because he's also on the scene, right? I feel like they are all going to be on the hunt in some sort of way for Kawaki as well this chapter, and maybe one of them is going to run into him. Maybe we actually will get Sasuke versus Kawaki, but Kawaki seems to be pretty wary of these guys when they're together, teamed up. He knows he can't win in that case. So if Sasuke decides to pull up with Shikamaru and they come up with a good plan, they might be able to take on Kawaki. They really might. One-on-one right now, Sasuke versus Kawaki. I just think that even if Sasuke was stronger, right, the abilities that Kawaki has, are a little too OP, and that's kind of what could lead to his downfall. Kind of like if Kawaki decides, like, hey, I can't actually beat this guy one-on-one right now, but I can send him to this dimension real quick, and that could end that, you know. But he just has a lot of hacks. That's pretty much what it is when he has his chakra. But if his chakra is low and he can't really escape, and we just get a regular good old taijutsu or ninjutsu battle where Kawaki can't really use his karma to its fullest with absorbing the jutsu and all, for whatever reason, I think they got a good shot at taking him down. But it all depends how they write the scenarios, and it all depends on who the writers are going to make Kawaki fight next. But I definitely expect a fight for him this chapter. And that's where I'm going to end that. If you did enjoy the video, though, be sure to hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts, of course, as always, in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I try my best to be on top of all the latest Boruto news as much as I can and as quick as I can. And I also try my best to cover a bunch of Dragon Ball stuff as well. So if you're interested, please do subscribe. And hope you guys have a good day or night whenever you guys are watching this video. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.